Okay, I thought I would just take a quick minute and show you the Cardo Packtalk Bold setup I've got on my helmet. I'm not going to go into all the setup detail. I'm just going to show you how I have it mounted, and I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks in the actual app, because there was one setting in particular I found that actually isn't the app that helped the volume when I'm playing music that took me forever to find. So anyway, I've got a Schubert C3 Lite helmet. It's a modular helmet, and I've got some other stuff on it. I've got a GoPro mount. I'll do another video that covers that. But I ended up getting the Cardo Packtalk Lite, as you can see here. I did a ton of research on the Cardo, the various models, the Sena various models, and I ended up going with the Cardo Packtalk. Number one, because it's the newer mesh technology. It's not the latest, greatest, but it's the new stuff without me buying something that's going to be immediately outdated. Number two, Cardo seems to be used more and more by the folks that I usually ride with, and so it's easier to pair. Although with the Cardo, I can pair via Bluetooth with pretty much anything else. And then number three, I happened to get a really great deal on it. I found a website that had like a 20% discount affiliate link, so I did it that way. So anyway, Cardo Packtalk Bold. This is where I mounted it, and you can see hopefully right there, I did all the install myself. This is the only wires that show right here. Clip this off. The newer model, I don't remember what the name of the newer, it might be the Packtalk Edge. I believe it goes on by magnet, whereas this one kind of clips in, but that's okay. It wasn't worth all the extra money to me. So anyway, that's the Edge unit. You just follow the directions and glue it on. Give it a good 24 hours to make sure it seats really well. I did it in this particular location because it was the best fit, where the curve, I could fit it in the curve just right underneath this little lip on the Schubert helmet. Hopefully you can see that. So that worked out perfectly. And then if you can see inside, this is the boom headset. Let me get this in the picture there for you. This is the boom headset. Ignore this one. Again, I'll cover that later. That has to do with my GoPro setup. But I did all the install in here. I just tucked all the wires in. There's really not a lot of instructions. Plus it differs by helmet. So the Schubert, all this just comes undone, and you end up packing all of the wires inside the helmet back underneath so it doesn't bother you. And I put just enough of the boom speaker out so that it's almost directly in front of my mouth, but not quite. And it does an awesome job. It sounds really, really great. So anyway, that's the simple setup that I did for the Cardo Packtalk on the helmet itself. Now I'll jump over and I'll show you the app and a couple of the settings I did in the app that I found were helpful, at least for me, the way I ride on a Harley trike.
Okay, now a couple of tips to make your music app work better on Cardo. Tip number one, and it says it in the instructions, run your app, have it running before you run Cardo for the first time. In this case, I'm running the Samsung Music app. Tip number two, as you see at the top of the screen there, make sure your media music level, the volume, is all the way up. I got confused and I did not have it up all the way, and Cardo wasn't as loud as it should be. Okay, so now let's go into the Cardo app itself. I'll show you a couple things in here as well. The app's pretty good. You should go in and have a look at it. The interface is pretty good. I'll show you some of the volume kind of settings, music settings. The music app doesn't really do a lot. Okay, I don't use Spotify, so I had to use other music application instead of the Cardo Connect player. So this is the setting I use for Samsung Music. You might have to do the same thing. Sorry, I got allergies. And then let's go into some of the settings. Again, the app really is pretty good. It's got a pretty decent interface. It's good for when you're on the bike and you might have your phone right there. It's easy to use. All right, let's jump into some of the settings. Let's see. I think I'll jump into... Okay, the default setting is standard. There is a voice and a bass boost. I found standard works really well, so that's what I use. Audio settings, if you jump into the volume levels, this is where I have mine set. FM radio is set low just because I had it turned down all the way. Those will change when you use the dial on the Cardo itself. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Background music is probably the one that is the most confusing. Background music is how loud the music is when you get a call. 100% doesn't mean it's 100% loud when you get a call. It means it's reduced by 100% when you get a call. So play with that one a little bit and make sure it's as quiet as you want it to be. What else? Mic sensitivity, I found it pretty good in the middle. Automatic volume. So I'm on a trike. It's loud. It's a Harley. Automatic volume will adjust the volume up or down automatically based on how loud it senses things are. Because things are so loud anyway on a Harley trike, I don't use automatic volume. A lot of people really like it, but I don't. Voice recognition, I bumped it up all the way. It helps when I've got a helmet on, a full face. Advanced audio settings, I definitely have the intelligent noise block on. That really helps the wind noise. And I definitely prioritize intercom for when I do actually use it. That's really the main important things. Again, the main thing was really making sure I had the media volume loud on my phone so that Cardo could actually put things up that loud. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Be safe out there and ride blessed.